everybody, Keely here, and today I thought I would do some boho hippie ephemera from my book, which I published a month or so ago, and I picked out some little characters over here and very cute little sort of bohemian looking kids, and each one's got a flower, so they came from one particular page which has lots of those images all together. Let's see if I can find it. And there we go, those are the rest. So you can see I picked out the easy ones to reach on the page. I might do a few more, but what I thought I wanted to try was to make some ATCs with these, like a set, and then make a page in here. So this is my sort of random journal, random pretty things journal. So I did a boho page there, that came from this book. I also did a more vintagey one from my Antiques Ephemera book. So yeah, I thought today I would try out some new toys. Now I can't find the page. I started to, there we go, started to grunge up the page with some distressed ink because I've ordered some new supplies. And I thought I'd have a bit of an experiment with the colours, and yeah, so I'm just playing about building up a bit of background. Now I do have some gel prints. I love this. I think I might do some of that on this page, and I want to create a little pocket somewhere on here for the ATCs to live in, because I'm not going to be trading them, I'm afraid. I know they're really for trading, but just my time and availability for such things is pretty much zero. So I made these. Now these are made out of watercolour paints and just photocopy paper. So I've got my iron on number 2. Not sure what temperature to use, so I'm just going for an average sort of temperature, but it seems to be working. I did go a little bit crazy with the folding and scrunching rather. So this one's falling apart, but that ragged look I think would go really well in my fairy journal, so I'm not going to worry about it, or even the grunginess. There might be a few bits that would work in my steampunk journal. Love a bit of grunge. So yeah, I'm going to use some of that as well, and then I think we'll have a really jolly sort of boho-y background with bits and bobs like that. Maybe some leaves. I just want it to look really cheerful. And do you know, some of these kids do remind me of children I've taught over the years, one way or another. I've taught hundreds of children, mostly a little bit older than the ones here, but some of them definitely remind me of pupils from days gone by. So it would be nice just to remember the happy times at that school where I did a lot of my creative stuff with these guys. So yeah, it'll be a really nice sort of memory page, this one, of lots of creative fun and colour and happiness and brightness and joy. So I'm just playing around with these tiny scraps, and I've just gone around the edges of my flower with the distressed ink, and I'm just putting it on that background so I can sort of get an idea how the colours are going to sit together. Let's just go through this adorable little boy picture as well. I say, I want to keep this really light and fresh and bright. I don't want any heavy colours or anything that's going to make it anything but light and airy and a little bit summery. There. I thought I'd try out a stormy sky on this little girl, because the other one was done with dried marigold. So stormy sky, let's do the flower first, in case I don't like it. Oh, I do like it. Maybe slightly losing the petal edges there, but there we are. Not going to be too fussy about it. Stormy sky. Might wish I'd gone with the orangey one, but dried marigold. Like my marigold fairy. Yeah, I'm not so sure about the stormy sky on this particular occasion, but that was pretty anyway. There we go. Let's just glue down the flower first. Yeah, wish I'd gone with the dried marigold now, never mind. It's still lovely though, in my opinion. Two done. Let's pop them over there. I was going to cut round the edges, but I rather like the rough edges. Well, perhaps I will cut round them, it'll just sharpen everything up. Okay. Go, voila. Let's see, where's she going to sit? Probably there. Let's stick it up in the corner. Lovely. Just need one more bit there. Let's mix up the colours a bit. What about orange? That'll do. See, I'm not cutting anything. I'm not making it fit. I'm not worrying about anything other than just having a bit of fun with these lovely juicy watercolours. There, how easy is that? Making a right mess with the glue. And we've just got a tiny little flower for her. I think I'm going to definitely go back to the dried apricot colour. And the edges. Oops. These little ATCs are going to sit in like some sort of pocket, so I think I will trim them. The pockets could be down at the bottom like this, and the whole page could be decorated with, you know, bits of colour, and I'm going to add a few leafy bits. I might just tear things and make the whole thing torn. And then I've got all these lovely bits of ephemera too. Guitars, tents, beautiful coloured cacti. So yeah, I just want it to look playful and fun and bright and happy. You can see the sort of background that I'm going for here. So I've got some colouring pages from a colouring book that I haven't actually used before. So I just tore those out. And yeah, I did consider colouring them in. I thought maybe I could colour a few little bits, but the memories of handing out colouring pages for wet breaks is kind of still in my mind, and I really wanted to keep that kind of vibe about this page. So things that haven't yet been completed, things for the future, all that kind of stuff. So I left the beautiful mandala patterns uncoloured, and I'm using some of the crinkly watercolour paper that, well, it's not watercolour paper, it was photocopy paper with watercolour that you saw me make earlier, and it's quite fun to glue it down actually, because you have to kind of squidge it and stretch it, and it's quite satisfying to see how flat it will go. And the leaves are, the big green leaves are from a stamp collection, or was it a stencil collection? I forget. I think it was stencils that I used with my gel plate last year, and they've got green with that gorgeous goldy sheen on them as well, which I just love. I've been hoarding those. And there's some tiny pieces from the backs of some of the cut images from my cut and collage book. So just trimming the edges here, very satisfying to do that, and we'll see how it all looks. I had a few thoughts about how to make the little ATC pockets, and I thought I would stick with the colouring theme. So the front of the colouring book had these decorative patterns, so I thought they'd be perfect. They're not too deep, so the children aren't going to just vanish into a pocket so that you can only see the top of their head. I really wanted you still to be able to see what is inside. So I did a little bit of distressing and couldn't resist getting my fine liners out and doing just a little fun bit of colouring. Again, this was one of the things that one of my classes absolutely loved doing, especially if there was a wet play or for like Friday afternoon treat, golden time we used to have. And lots of them used to love colouring in lots of these sorts of patterns. There we go. I've just kept the colour scheme simple, so there's a pink, an orange and a turquoise. I quite like that. Adds a bit more of a horizontal sort of neatness to the page. I did think about using Velcro and sticking the ATCs in, but I think it would have made the book lumpy and made that horrible Velcro-y noise, although that is definitely a school memory, bit of Velcro. Sometimes some cheeky children would play with the Velcro on their shoes, sometimes in assembly. There we go. And of course the 4 cards are interchangeable, so it doesn't matter where you stick them, but I was just trying to make sure that you could see them all. And there we go, glued that all in. Hope you like it. Well, I've stuck down my colouring. There we are. It's very basic colouring. I just wanted to add a little bit of something and give it a little bit more colour on those little bits. So yeah, my kids just tuck in beautifully there, and of course it doesn't matter which one they go in because they're all the same size. And I love the background. I'm definitely going to ink around the edges, I think, in a minute with that blue again. And I forgot, look, I forgot to use these. I actually had a larger one of those cut out originally, but there is almost identical smaller tent in the book as well. So I've gone with that because I was going to stick these around on the pages, but there isn't really enough room and I'd just be sort of forcing them in. And then I thought, let's put them on the back so that each of these gorgeous little children has got a kind of signature hobby or thing that they like to do, and something that sort of goes with their thing. So adventure awaits you. We could have the little tent on there. I'll have to decorate it first. And believe in yourself. That could be about growing, couldn't it? Growing cacti. Do something there. Be you bravely, and attitude is everything. Now what else have I got? Oh, of course we've got the guitar. So maybe he could be playing the guitar. That could be for him. And be you bravely. Let's see. There aren't many sort of hobby type things in this book, but there are a few things. There, look, journaling. Be you bravely. Get it down on paper. Let's go with that. Because most of the things in this book are pretty and a little bit more adult focused, like, you know, handbags and the other kinds of bits and bobs. But I think a nice little leather bound journal for our little child here. Be you bravely. She could be a writer or an art journaler. Excellent. Right, now I've got to think how to decorate the backs of these little ATCs. I'm not going to write on them. Yeah, I'm just going to enjoy decorating the other side, and then they can be switched around either way within this book, can't they? I thought I would try out something a bit bolder that worked with the colour scheme. So there's a few little purple blobs in that background, and I found some purple and orange tissue in my filing cabinet of supplies. So, and also I managed to find a stamper that has the same kind of fern leaves pattern on it. So I thought I would just have a little play with some very thin tissue, bit of stamping, and just making something simple for the back of the card so that it's very obvious which way round they are when they're in the book. So they may be a bit darker than I might have done had I thought about it for a bit longer. I suppose I maybe could have used some, watered down gesso or something on that tissue before I did it, but do you know what? I do quite like that purpley colour when it's against all that, mishmash of things that I made the background from. But I felt I wanted it to be a bit brighter, so as you can see here, I fished out some of my washi tape, which I haven't really used very much yet. Oh, managed to stick that down and missed the edge, but never mind. And just a pretty little random coloured bit of washi tape just to brighten things up and give it a bit more of a something. So just choosing which one to use. There we go. So I've gone for a sort of almost like a Scandinavian flag type of style. There we are, just to add a little bit of something patterned and pretty. Adding these backs to the artist trading cards really has added to the length of and complexity, might I say, of this project. Obviously, if you're making ATCs, you don't have to decorate the backs as well. In fact, most people will record like the date and what the ATC is called and the series number, if there's a series, and so on and so on. But I'm just doing these for fun. I'm not trading. So yeah, I just wanted to make them feel finished. And what's the point of having a little pocket if you can't take the thing out? And then when you do take it out, it doesn't look finished. So all part of the functioning of this little art journal project page. Just trimming off the edges of the washi tape there. Just tried to brighten it all up and give it a little bit more pattern and jolliness. There we go. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Orange and purple's a bit of a bold selection of colours, isn't it? But there you go. Adventure awaits you. There we go with the TP, and believe in yourself. Growing something beautiful. Be you bravely, and maybe doing some journaling about your deepest feelings, and attitude is everything. Learning the guitar and rocking out on a flowery guitar. There we go. So my ATCs have their home. I'm so pleased with this. I think it's really, really charming, and it was so much fun to make. So if you make ATCs and you don't want to trade them, maybe consider an ATC, artist trading card journal, with some little pockets, and you could keep your collections and your memories in your art journal. There we go. It's just too much fun changing them around, switching them about, deciding which side I want to use. I am just playing, guys. There we go. Boho Hippie Ephemera to cut out in collage. So yeah, all of the ephemera here, apart from all the background pieces, all of those came out of my book, which obviously is available on Amazon, as I've mentioned previously. So yeah, I'm ever so pleased with that. Anyway, guys, it's been really fun making this. I hope you agree that it's really pretty and that it all worked out rather happily. Anyway, if you haven't liked this video, that would be great. Please just click the like button below. That would help me out no end, because trying to get the algorithm to show my videos to other people obviously relies on my viewers showing their appreciation. So just clicking like would be wonderful, and if you would subscribe, that would be even better. I'm just inking around the edges because I can't resist a bit of inking, as you probably know by now, using my Ranger archival ink. You notice how I coordinated my sleeves with this final part of the project. I know I don't just throw these things together. Well, actually it was cold. We have had a heating engineer in since I filmed this, and the house is now a little bit more toasty. There we go. Look at all those patterns. I just love it. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments, guys, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon.